David Lindsay was born on the 13th of August 1891 in Airdrie in Lanarkshire. He was the son of Alexander Duker Lindsay, a solicitor and procurator fiscal in the district of Airdrie, and Jessie Lindsay, née Shanks. After completing his secondary education, he set out to follow his father and become a solicitor, and started working at the firm of Kerr & Barry in Glasgow. In 1912, at the age of 21, he matriculated at the University of Glasgow to study Scots law, but he gave up his studies in the spring of 1915 to take a commission in the 7th Battalion of the Highland Light Infantry. He served first as a machine gun officer in the UK, and in 1917 he transferred to the Indian Army. However, he did not live to see India. He set sail from Marseille on the SS Cameronia on the 13th of April 1917. The Cameronia was a transatlantic passenger liner built in Glasgow and launched in 1911, which had been requisitioned as a troop ship. It was carrying 2,650 troops to Alexandria, but 2 days after setting sail, it was hit by a torpedo fired by German submarine U-33. The Cameronia sank in 40 minutes, and the majority of those on board were rescued, either by the ship's own lifeboats or by being taken on board the accompanying destroyers HMS Rifleman and HMS Nemesis. David Lindsay was very nearly among the survivors. A fellow officer wrote to his parents describing the events. "I, along with your son and 3 other Highland Light Infantry officers, met on the saloon deck and prepared to jump onto the torpedo boat destroyer. Each of us had a rope to swing onto the ship, but each of us missed the destroyer and went into the water. I managed to scramble up the rope, which I fortunately retained, and got on board the destroyer at the second attempt, and on looking into the water I saw your son there. I threw him a rope and got him along to the ladder up the side of the destroyer. At that time a lad was struggling with his lifebelt close to the ladder, so your son gallantly assisted him and got him onto the ladder and to safety, but the action has cost your son his life, as the boats came together as he was preparing to mount the ladder. Death was instantaneous." David Lindsay was one of 127 officers and men who lost their lives when the ship sank. Lieutenant David Lindsay is remembered on the Chatby Memorial in Alexandria in Egypt, which commemorates 700 who died when their vessels were torpedoed.